So laceless football boots are definitely something that will always split opinion, but they're probably here to stay, and they do also offer a very unique and pretty uninterrupted feel on the ball, which is a solid alternative to the more classic laced options. But which is actually the best laceless football boot out there right now? Well, in today's video, I'll give you my personal top 5 with pros and cons to hopefully help you decide which laceless boot to cop if you want to kiss your laces goodbye. And we start with my number 5, which is the adidas X Speedportal Plus. And if I have to be honest here, this is probably my least favorite out of the dedicated high-end laceless options. And that's not saying it's a straight up bad football boot. Quite the contrary, it's decent. But I do think that while you get a soft upper, especially on the medial side, and that the boot hugs the forefoot like a glove and you get this really nice responsive outsole, well, the Speedportals also feel a little bit more plasticky and overall bulky and chunky, especially around the heel area compared to, for instance, the Speedflow Plus that it took over from. And again, it's not a bad football boot, but given the fact that it's 280 euros, and with some of the alternatives out there, I mean, if you want a laceless speed boot, there are, in my book, better options. Unless, of course, you only really want an X. And actually, in my book, one of those options is the Lotto Solista 106 Gravity. Great name, by the way. Which might not have the same super technical construction as the X Speedportals, but instead they just offer this very no-nonsense, relatively snug-fitting knitted upper all the way through, which has a soft foam inner liner for a little bit of that padded goodness. And in general, it just has a really comfortable, distractionless fit. And it's probably the essence of what a straightforward laceless boot is. It has that nimble, sock-like, distractionless feel. And I don't think it's unfair to, well, at least compare it to the feel of a Superfly foam. It's just there, around your foot. And okay, the lockdown is not best in class and the tooling is a little bit, well, it works. But it's 180 euros and sometimes even cheaper. And that's just really hard to argue against. And in third place, I've decided to go with the Adidas Predator Accuracy Plus, which might actually be the most unique boot on the list because it just fully utilizes the fact that, well, the laces are gone and you have a completely clean striking surface. And Adidas have just taken that opportunity to maximize the area covered by these SL rubber high definition grip elements. And I don't really know when anyone ever will really use this area when they strike the ball. I don't think I've ever really done that, but with that said, they just feel awesome to shoot and pass the ball with. And I think they offer that extra something when you're on the ball. And when you add to that they're super comfortable, it's just a nice package. However, the wide fit and especially that extra room around the midfoot and the heel just means that for my slim foot, it does feel as if the boot isn't as closely connected and locked around my foot as I would like. But if you have a medium to especially a wide foot, they're a very solid option. But one of the best laceless boots, in my opinion right now, is the new Balance Tekela V4 Pro. And I'll be honest, putting the second kinda hurt because it is a brilliant football boot. Now, a boot's shape is, of course, always important, but in particular for laceless boots because, well, you don't have laces to kinda adjust the fit. And what I'm trying to say here is that I think New Balance hit the right spot with the Tekela. Because on one hand, you have this super cozy, incredibly soft and pliable upper with a hint of that soft, padded feel with a bit of texture on the ball. And then on the other hand, you have this relatively snug and I would almost say elevated sock-like free sensation that you just won't get in a pair of boots with laces. The tooling is unique, but I think it works, it feels nice, and it's just effortlessly good for 225 euros, which is not bad. Yeah, this is not gonna work, so I'm just gonna jump into the honorable mentions, which is that you can of course also go and buy some of the cheaper laceless takedown options, which, I mean, I understand why you'd be looking at them because, well, they are cheaper and they look like the top-end laceless options. But honestly, guys and girls, I wouldn't do it because the materials used on those price points are just not good enough in terms of providing that support and stability that you want in terms of lockdown and in general that laceless construction. Now, of course, there is also the other alternative of simply just like taking your laces out of your boots. And I mean, you can do that, it's a free world, and I know that Puma even encourage it on their future Ultimate, but I mean, as a rule of thumb, I will say this: if a boot is made with laces, it's probably because it needs laces to perform optimally, so I'd probably just leave them in, you know? If you want laceless, buy a laceless boot instead. But if you want the best laceless football boot, that title, in my book at least, belongs to the adidas COPA Pure Plus, which just does so many things right. I mean, it has a super soft, very pliable leather forefoot. It has this really streamlined fit that is a combination of both that cozy slipper-like sensation, but also the more sock-like snug fit. Of course, the touch on the ball has this nice balance between being a little bit padded, a little bit elegant, but also pretty sharp. And the Nemesis tooling is just a good performer. And I do realize that, you know, a leather laceless boot, it doesn't sound as sexy as an X Speedportal with the knitted upper and the raised toe and all that jazz. But I just think that the COPA here does so many things right. It's more comfortable than the X, it has better lockdown, and because of that streamlined fit, I would argue that it's a pretty solid substitute, an alternative to the X as a laceless speed boot, because it's pretty light too. So it just ticks so many boxes. Obviously, the price is a bit of an L, but the rest, for me, is a win, if you want laceless. But my friends, keep in mind that going laceless is a choice. Like, obviously you get some style points and you get that very unique streamlined feel on the ball. But you also sacrifice a bit of lockdown and adjustability. So, you know, the choice is yours. But anyways, if you want to go laceless, these are the 5 best options in my book at least. But what's the best laceless boot in your opinion? Well, as always, let me know in the comment section right down below. And then hop over to Unisport to buy either of these or any other new football boot you might want. Link is right over there. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notifications on. And with those words, I'll see you next time. Signing off. Cheerio.